You know, when I started this Alkalarian program, my kids were in high school, junior high school, and elementary school. I didn't really work the program with a baby, but my daughter, Ashley Rose Young, has gone through all of her pregnancies and raised her infants in this Alkalarian way. And we thought we would do a segment on how to baby your baby nutritionally in the best way possible. So I'm going to turn the time over to her so she can tell you how she makes baby food, what she does in the case of teething, fever, cold, earache, all that stuff. I know you're going to love it.
Okay, this is a lot of information, and I will just preface it with that all kids are different, all babies are different. Some things will work for one child and it won't work for another child. Some kids have different allergies than other children. So you just have to try as a mother everything possible that you know with the knowledge that you have. And then just, take the information that you gleaned from me today and then just experiment with all of it. Okay, so first I'm going to talk a little bit about nursing. Nursing is so important, and I'm sure that every mother knows out there intuitively that nursing is the best option. However, it's not always the answer for everybody, and some women just don't produce milk. For me, I tried to nurse my kids at least a year. In fact, my girls, I nursed them to about 18 months. It was a little long, but I just felt like it was so important, especially for my last little girl, whose immune system for some reason is just a little more fragile. It just might be her genetics that she's a little more sensitive. So anyways, after you nurse, I'm just going to give you some ideas of different things you can do to keep your kids on something that's good and organic and raw in form of maybe like a baby formula. Now there are different formulas out there that you might want to try. There's good organic formulas. There's some dairy. I never tried dairy because it's not according to pH. I did try a soy formula once, and my kids just really didn't respond to it well. So I thought, wow, what should I do? Well, I read a little bit about the coconut and how important just the water and the meat from the coconut has very, very similar molecular properties to the breast milk. And actually, there's research that women down in South America and the southern countries where the coconuts grow, that they would use coconut milk right after they nurse because the properties are so similar, like the lauric,
lauric oil. Yeah, that's so
coconut.
Prevalent in coconut water is antifungal, antimicrobial, antibacterial. So it is sterile as mother's milk is. And the only other place you'll find lauric oil in the same amount is in mother's breast milk. So it is a good weaning item to put your baby back onto.
Yeah, so what I would do is I would really encourage you to just experiment with it. What I would do is I would blend up my coconut milk with my water, and then I would add a little bit of chlorophyll to it to get greens into my baby. Then I would also add a little bit of like a liquid vitamin and mineral, like a Kool-Aid liquid vitamin mineral supplement, which my parents don't provide, but you can go to your local health food store and ask them different questions about different good ones.
Do you have any of those here?
I didn't bring the liquid
Okay.
vitamin because I didn't have that one on hand, but
okay.
We'll talk about those a little bit. Also, I mean, if you're worried about if the baby, needs a little more protein, you can look into organic, vegan, raw sources of good proteins like a sprouted soy protein that you guys carry, or even there's different brown rice proteins, add a little bit of that powder.
There's a purple rice protein that's very popular right now that I've noticed people
that gives your baby a little more aminos. So like I said, it's something that you can experiment with. There are a lot of good infant raw, vegan, organic infant formula ideas out there. Even my health food store gave me a paper and it listed all these different things that I could try. And some of the things I tried and some of the things I didn't because I didn't feel right about it. So I just encourage you to be really intuitive with what you feel like your baby needs on that. After that, I would transition my baby into other things. So baby food. Mostly because it was just so convenient. Whatever I was eating, as long as it didn't have high content of like nuts and things that are more like allergens that the baby can't digest yet at a young age, I would just chew up my food like an Indian mother. Chew it up, and the enzymes in your saliva already breaks down the food, and it might seem kind of gross, and you might not want to do that out in public, but it's very convenient.
I actually did this with my kids too. Indian mothers masticate the food and mix up their saliva, which is probably alkaline, and then you just feed it like a bird, feeding a little baby bird. You just take it out of your mouth, put it in the baby's mouth, and never had any problem with getting sickness or passing it back and forth. It was just a real easy, it was the food processor for the baby. It was my mouth.
Yeah. So that's the most convenient way to get your baby
and
to
look
be
how
really
she turned
healthy.
out. She's beautiful.
Or, I mean, there's other things. You just look at the avocado, cut it open, start scraping. It's instant baby food. You can add a little bit of liquid salt onto it. You can, if the baby is teething, I usually use some sort of a frozen vegetable, frozen peas, or even frozen berries. And the child, as long as they're old enough, when they start getting their molars and stuff, they can kind of just suck on those and break them down. And actually, my sister-in-law gave me the idea of frozen berries, frozen edamames. Also, a lot of the pediatricians and just mainstream knowledge will tell you to start them on a cereal. And I never felt totally right about starting on a cereal to begin with. I always started them on pureed vegetables. And so what I would do is I actually was given this as a gift. I used to just have a baby grinder. So I would just steam my vegetables, put it in the grinder, and then I'd grind it up with some avocado, good oils like your omega 369.
You got
and a
coconut
little
oil
bit of
here.
salt.
Yeah, coconut oil. Okay.
And then you make your baby food. But my father gave me a great gift. And this is actually, this is a baby cook by Ba, I guess.
Yeah, that's neat.
Really
Make your own
neat
baby
because
food.
you can. Anyways, you
How
pour
does
water.
it work? You put the water in one side.
Yeah, you pour water in one side,
It's like a thermos almost over there.
and then
it
you
heats
take
it
this
up.
little basket and you put in whatever vegetables you want. I just put in peas and a little bit of sweet potato. Oh, there we go. And then I already steamed it. So, okay. Getting mixed
Need
up
to
here.
empty it in.
Okay,
right?
so then after they're steamed, you just empty it in the bottom.
You leave the water in the bottom.
Because
steamed
all
off
of
the
those,
veggies.
all of those natural juices that come off the vegetables, whatever you're doing, green beans, I mean, you can do anything in this, broccoli, cauliflower.
Yeah, any of your leftovers?
Yeah,
from-
any of your
Yeah.
leftovers. Then you put
Nice.
it back in the water because the water retains a lot of the minerals and the vitamin content that escapes the
Yeah.
vegetables when they are steamed.
Yeah, that's nice.
And then I would put my good salts in there.
Nice.
And a little bit of avocado afterwards because you don't want to cook, your oils.
Yeah.
Also my good oils. I don't have the omegas. Well, you would pour your omegas in to get your baby their good oils.
Or you could pour the coconut oil in, right? Okay.
And you can even do grains in this too. You could do a little bit
Would you
of a
ever
grain.
add your almond milk and coconut milk mix here? Just to cream it up a little bit? Okay.
Yeah, well, you could
Should
do
we add
that.
some? Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you just kind of go with the flow, what you've got in the house, and your baby can eat what you eat.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, a lot of the recipes, and you probably already know this with PH Miracle, a lot of them are pureed soups,
Right.
pureed shakes,
Right.
soft grains that are already, cooked
Ready
a
for
little
baby.
bit. And also with your grains, if you soak them overnight with a little bit of lemon, it actually breaks down the grain even further so a baby can actually digest it a little bit easier.
Oh, that's good to know. That lemon.
Yeah, if you
Sure.
can, you just put a little bit of lemon or lime, you fill the water over your grain, put a little bit of lemon or lime, and it will just kind of break down the grain, and then you can steam it.
So
the
have you
next day.
found, by giving your babies vegetables early, have you found that your children have retained their liking for vegetables? Because I've heard if you start them early, they'll always like vegetables, and if you miss that early stage and you give them a lot of yogurt and fruit and sweet stuff, they won't like vegetables. How's that been for your experience?
For the most part, I would say that's true. In my house, I kind of don't make it a choice when they get older. I'm like, if you're gonna have your pasta, I try,
Yeah.
not all the time, but I try to serve the vegetables first and just try to educate them that it's so important that they get those vital nutrients from those vegetables. And then they can have the main part of the meal, which all kids, they mostly prefer. I don't care if you're raised PH or not. They like those kid foods.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah.
So try to start early.
Yeah.
And try to make them palatable and taste great. And then you've got a better chance.
So I was just going to show you.
Okay, yeah. Let's see how this works. Oh, how nice. Nice.
Okay.
And you
So
got
then
baby food.
You got baby food, baby soup.
Baby soup.
And afterwards,
Nice.
you can take your leftovers and pour them in little ice cubes, or you could freeze it
Oh,
in little
yeah.
containers if you've got extra that you're not going to use for the day.
And you were mentioning frozen baby food in the health food store that's really good. What's
and
that
I wasn't
called?
able to pick some up. They didn't have it at the health food store I went to. So it's actually the Happy Baby brand.
Happy Baby.
And they actually, if you don't have time, you're a working mom, or for some reason you just can't spend that much time in the kitchen, Happy Baby does them in little plastic cube trays, and it's frozen baby food. It's raw. They have different green-based ones with different greens like spinach and quinoa and
nice.
sweet potatoes, just peas, all these different great things, and then they only freeze them. So it's not very processed. It's not your bottled canned foods that are sold that you might question how it's preserved so long.
Now you got cream of buckwheat here. Is this something you'd give your baby and then maybe add some things to it?
Yeah. The reason why I brought this is because, like I said before, they usually recommend, that a rice cereal is very easy to digest for your kids or for your babies. And it is. When they're babies, it is easily digested, but it's also, high carb, high sugar. And so I just kind of mix it in. After you introduce vegetables, a little bit of fruits like your grapefruit and things like that, then I would try different cereals. So try a multigrain, try an infant brown rice cereal, try cream of buckwheat. Now for me, my little 2-year-old actually has different allergies for some reason. She cannot have anything that has wheat in it. And so I really had to research a little bit and go to different forms for her.
And you've also got a child that's on gluten-free diet, correct, Charlie?
Yeah. Well, we try.
Yeah, we try.
We try the best we can. I mean, he's 10 years old and he's in school. But yeah, it has helped. For some reason, with kids that can't break down that gluten in the GI tract, it just kind of sits there and gums up. And then the child is unable to fully assimilate the good things that are actually going through their GI tract. It's almost like it creates a wall or a plaque. And so it has made a difference.
Well, fabulous.
Really quick. Just
the way to do your baby.
A little bit of snacks here for different, when they're teething. There's some snack ideas made from
these are melt in your mouth. Yep.
I did give my baby sunflower sprouts very early on.
Did you blend them up?
Yeah, you can do it
blended
raw,
because the baby didn't have any teeth, right?
Raw afterwards, or they can just sit there and teeth on them.
Got it.
So that's it. There's lots of ideas out there, so I just recommend that you just use your creativity. And
so here we are from the PH Miracle Center, 2 mamas, and telling you how to baby your baby the most natural and PH Miracle way. Until next time, this is Shelley and Ashley saying salute to your health.
Bye.